あのね、確かにあいつ、ミログラムだっけ？挑発。
Tokyo Necro is a visual novel developed by Nitro Plus, which now uses its Nitro Origin brand to make a clear distinction from its 18+ content. With a unique blend of zombie narrative and sci-fi themes, this game discusses human nature and experiments with 3D action scenes within a visual novel framework. Before we get into the video, we'd like to thank our Patreon supporters for making this possible. Please take a second to check out patreon.com/noisypixel to support independent game journalism.
あれ、おかしいな。私、あれを知ってる。
Tokyo Necro takes place in the future where the world faces a new ice age. Humanity struggles to survive with low temperatures, with Tokyo creating a geothermal heat pipe system. Due to the current circumstances, the energy companies regulating it, known as the Empire Energy Corp, has a lot of importance when it comes to city management. However, the snow and the corporation's iffy intentions aren't the only issues of this futuristic setting. Ever since the Sino-American War, a new threat has arrived: necromancers. These technological summoners of the living dead bring fear to people's hearts, using people's corpses as tools for their own goals. The government has tagged these people as terrorists, and they're wanted dead or alive. Besides the military forces, private agencies hunt down the living dead and necromancers for profit and personal reasons. These people are called living dead stalkers, and we follow the story of a man and woman who work this job. On one side, we have Nagaoka Saun, a diligent, stoic guy who hardly expresses emotion. His fighting style is precise and robotic, following the instructions of his X-Brain, a wearable device that expands the user's consciousness as it analyzes the situations on the go. On the other end, we have his partner, Kibanahara Ethica, a lesbian whose combat style relies on instant and flashiness. As she moves around with her trusty chainsaw rabbit punch, she tries to live life to her fullest with a flamboyant, flirty personality. One day, during a special mission, Saun finds a mysterious girl called Hogya Iria in the trunk of a car. The situation is puzzling as they have no idea why the necromancers would be targeting her, since Iria looks like a run-of-the-mill girl with weird tastes tied to old anime of the late 20th and early 21st century. However, she has no memories besides her name. Now, it's up to Saun, Ethica, and the team at the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency to find out who exactly she is. Along the way, they'll uncover multiple secrets tied to the girl, the government, the necromancers, and the not-so-distant past. As we learn more about society, we also see intriguing discussions about technology, what it's meant to be human, and finding your place in the world. As much as Tokyo Necro is about seeing badass people fighting zombies and weird machines, it's also a story about finding your humanity in what seems otherwise a hopeless world. It's a memento mori reminder, looking deep into our biggest fear of death, leaving behind our loved ones, and being left behind by some of them, all while proposing we still keep our heads up to look into the future and live true to ourselves. With this in mind, Tokyo Necro offers a poignant story with a cast that suffers in one way or the other for past actions, regrets, and traumas. At the same time, we can see how technology has advanced considerably from our time, and issues like criminal activity and law enforcement abuse of power have also escalated. It never reaches the same peaks as Full Metal Demon Miramasa, but it's considerably interesting in its own world building and plot development. Graphically, Tokyo Necro combines 2D movement and 3D scenes, using the latter to emphasize battle choreography animations. This bold choice pays off, making the combat scenes some of the more detailed the visual novel format can offer right now. Still, I can see how people may consider it not their cup of tea compared to 2D animations, as the areas sometimes feel more barren and a little below the ideal polishment. Though typical zombies are part of multiple scenes, the 3D movements have Saun and Ethica fighting necromancers and living dead with altered bodies. These alterations are a unique point of Tokyo Necro related to its futuristic settings, as body augmentations has become commonplace and zombie bodies are malleable enough to make killing machines. Robotic creatures with similar principles also exist in this world. While the 2D scenes are usually less intense, the backgrounds are very detailed, reflecting the feeling of a non-ideal future. The setting of Tokyo looks like a town struggling to survive, its pipes just keeping it barely alive. Places are mostly industrial looking, and whenever we see a popular landmark, it's pretty devastating to see it in ruins, their once meaning utterly lost to time. Nitro Plus's partnership with Ziz Studio is repeated here, with them handling the background music for this title. The music matches the story beat's tone remarkably well, with the highlight being Kaizu, which plays at one of the most emotional scenes of the game and makes it a memorable moment. One thing to note is the Steam version cuts a ton of content from the game, even beyond the sex scenes and illustrations featuring nudity or some choice of clothing that may lead to a Steam ban due to their arbitrary logic. just cuts story events and moments of extreme relevance to the story. The censored build doesn't even play a few 3D sequences, and I'm honestly puzzled by their reasoning here. However, it's understandable that the publisher went to such lengths after Valve's store banned their already censored Full Metal Demon Miramasa build. I'd recommend getting the game on Jazz Store if possible. Otherwise, the Jazz Store's free 18+ patch is necessary to enjoy the full game. Another detail I'd like to mention is that I found a few typos and issues during my experience, like term translation inconsistencies. These details are small and relatively rare, and I'd argue that they didn't significantly impact the story's quality. Tokyo Necro fits perfectly with other Nitro Plus developed titles. This world of cold, zombies, and technology may have somber, dark undertones, but it's also one of hope for people's efforts to be their better selves. This contrasts with the hype-inducing 3D action scenes that make it a highlight in the genre and a must-play. Noisy Pixel is giving Tokyo Necro a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out Patreon to help support our continued growth and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.